How's it going, YouTube? It's your boy Miles here, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. I apologize for not having the face cam. I'm at my mother's house right now, and my PlayStation 5 face cam is at my dad's. I actually just finished school, and I just recently brought all my stuff back home, but it's not all unpacked. And I'm back in my mom's house for like the first time in over a month, so please bear with me here as I'm making this video. I wanted to talk about something pretty important to me. As you guys know, Call of Duty is pretty much my bread and butter, but I am not talking about the video game. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the brand new Call of Duty movie that has been announced via Instagram. At least that's how I saw it. I saw it on Instagram. I was just scrolling the other day, and I saw that Call of Duty posted a picture with their, standard Call of Duty logo with a date under it saying June 30th of 2028, which is pretty far away. I mean, it's a long time, but I'm excited because Call of Duty has always been a franchise that I have adored, at least up until the last, 5 years or so. I kind of stopped adoring Call of Duty after 2019. Actually, no, after 2016, I kind of stopped giving a shit about COD, because once Infinite Warfare came out, I already knew that we were going downhill, and it could only get worse. And this was, 11-year-old me thinking this shit, so if 11-year-old me knew, God knows what, 20-year-old me knows, 21-year-old me knows, you know what I mean? And I can just tell you confidently, Call of Duty in terms of the video game world does not have a future unless they go back to their roots and create a dark, gritty, confusing game that just makes you ask all these questions that you weren't asking yourself before. But because of the AI slop and just all the copy and pasting that Call of Duty's been doing over the last 6 years, I really don't see them going anywhere in the video game world. So it makes sense why they would make a movie, because they are losing literally all of their traction right now. But in terms of this movie, right, let's talk about what I think the movie's going to be about before we dive any deeper. I have a feeling that they're going to encapsulate something with the Modern Warfare franchise. Do I think it's going to be the old Modern Warfare trilogy or the new Modern Warfare trilogy? I don't know. Because one thing that I always thought to myself ever since I tried to play the newer Call of Duties, I would say 2016 and up, Infinite Warfare campaign I finished, but I never played World War II, I never played Black Ops 4, I never played Modern Warfare 19, and I never played Cold War up until 2022 is when I played Cold War's campaign. But I think, I used to think when I would watch those cutscenes, this franchise doesn't belong in the gaming world anymore. These cutscenes are so, graphically realistic that they should just make a fucking movie. Because the whole Modern Warfare trilogy did not need to be remade. You know what I mean? As a game, I mean. The whole idea of, remaking the universe and the things they did, the decisions they made for the characters, it just didn't make sense for a video game. I always knew there was something uncanny valley about Call of Duty after 2019. They were just trying to, I don't know how to explain it. The old games were games with the intention of being games. You know what I mean? And now they've been dude, words, the words don't exist, is what I'm trying to say. Black Ops 7 is all over the place. The graphics are so good, right? But none of it makes sense. The maps don't make sense. The story doesn't make sense. So it just makes the game non-logical. And when it comes to a game, you have to actually have a story. You actually have to have, a narrative. But when it comes to movies, especially movies based off of games, you don't really need to follow that same narrative, because people don't necessarily give a shit about the story when it comes to, them watching a movie based off of a game they love. Prime example, Super Mario Galaxy. It's a horrible fucking movie. The movie is garbage. It makes no fucking sense. The plot is all over the place. But Yoshi's in the movie, right? Yoshi's just fucking around having a good time in the movie, and that's what makes it great. You get all these amazing characters that we all know and love. Who cares if Mario has a 10-minute cutscene where he's in a fucking deli shaking his cock around, yelling look at me, I'm Mario, look at my cock. And I'm not even saying that to try and be on some gay bullshit. I'm just saying people would laugh at that. You know what I mean? People wouldn't be like, what the fuck is going on? Mario's shaking his cock. Like, people would think that shit's funny as fuck because it's Mario. At least that's how I feel. You know what I mean? Like, there could be a movie about Sonic being a fucking, like, freelance, bounty hunter. And I would watch that shit. You could call it Sonic the Bounty Hunter, and I'd fucking watch it. Simply because Sonic's a cool character, and him being a bounty hunter would be fire as fuck. Now, listen to this. If Call of Duty back in 2019 had just made a movie or a TV franchise about the Modern Warfare, you know, trilogy, and they remastered it the way they did with the game, but they did it in focus of just media that is to be watched, not media that is to be played, I genuinely feel like they would have done much better. Because bringing back Ghost, keeping Ghost alive, and all the bullshit they've done with the Modern Warfare franchise in terms of gaming, they killed the legacy. And when you do that, not only do you make the original game feel more like godlike, but you make the new game feel just like a copy and paste. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, Modern Warfare 2019 comes out. Now, what does that make COD 4 look like? COD 4 looks like a fucking god tier game compared to Modern Warfare 19. And COD 4 wasn't even all that. It was just a revolutionary title that really grounded the multiplayer for Call of Duty. And I think that had they just made the whole Modern Warfare trilogy into a series or something, people would have actually enjoyed it. Because what I take away from the last 6 years is that people like the characters from Call of Duty, but people don't really give a shit about the gameplay. Because Activision doesn't care about the gameplay either. And we know this because look at how crappy these games have been. And personally, I think that they tried to get the best of both worlds. I think they knew that in terms of gaming functionality that their games were not going to be nearly anywhere as good as it once was, just because of the fact that small dev teams don't exist anymore. People don't have the patience that they used to have, and developers aren't willing to cut corners. Developers aren't willing to do the harder things that they used to have to do when technology was limited, because technology is basically infinite now. So they tried to get the best of both worlds by giving us ultra realistic cutscenes, super real life feeling environments, and that type of stuff, you know, like player chatter in the game, like the whole Modern Warfare 2 campaign being like so immersive and making you feel like you're really there, you know what I mean? Like all of that, plus trying to make it into a game that you can play so they can make more money off of us and install random DLCs and try to throw microtransactions at us. It's like no longer a game. It's kind of like a little bit like an Oasis. I don't know if you guys have seen Ready Player One, but like the way I see Call of Duty is kind of the way that I see Ready Player One. It's bigger than a game now. Call of Duty is bigger than a game now. But to be honest, in the gaming world, nobody cares about how popular your franchise is. A video game has to have standards. And Call of Duty has lost their standards for video games. So I'm excited to hear and see this movie, because I think that they will be more successful in that area based off of how much time and effort and money they're putting into their graphics, their cutscenes, the movement, the way that the environment looks in the game, the explosions. Like, I genuinely just think that with this computer or whatever engine that they're using for these games, they could honestly just turn it all into a movie and make more money, because I would have more fun just sitting there watching this bullshit than actually having to play and indulge in it. Because if Call of Duty is going to be a multiplayer game, we all know, and so does Activision, what that looks like and what needs to be done. So until then, I look forward to the movie. Fuck Call of Duty.